Welcome to the Politic Bear educational channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Less than 1/4 of all the nations on the planet use the first-past-the-post voting system. Those who still use it are massively out of touch with modern reality. Canada's first-past-the-post system is a legacy of our colonial era, a time before the radio or the airplane had made our world as small as it is. Back then, an argument could be made for this type of electoral system. It was simple and expedient. Today, however, it's a different story. Modern travel and communication methods have made any arguments for not using a proportional representation model moot. Australia and New Zealand have both moved from the first-past-the-post model, but for some reason, their fellow former colony Canada has not. This is odd given how similar the political histories of these nations are. Perhaps it has to do with being in the political gravity well of the USA. Hard to Here in Canada, our outmoded electoral system is so screwed up that it's possible for a party to form a majority government with less than 40% of the popular vote. Seriously, that has actually happened on more than one occasion. The only way a majority government should ever be formed is if a party actually got the support of the majority of eligible voters. But in first-past-the-post, that doesn't matter. The proportional representation system, however, is very different. You actually do need the majority of votes to form a majority government. That's why majority governments are very rare in proportional representation systems. It's a much, much better way to govern. And we don't even need to figure it out. The work has already been done by our European allies. All we need to do is pick which proportional representation system we want to emulate and copy it. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Select which system. 2. Adapt the legislation to implement that system here. And 3. Repeal first-past-the-post legislation and replace it with the new one. No way this process should even take a year. It's so simple and straightforward. However, nobody's saying they're going to do it. Why? The proportional representation system isn't perfect. Nothing is. It is, however, a massive improvement, and also down the road it can be tweaked to continue to make it better. The only reason it has not been done is that our elected representatives live in a world of deluded grandeur, where they imagine themselves forming majority governments with only 38% of the popular vote and then ramming through legislation to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. They don't care about Canada or Canadians. They care about power. The dangers of majority governments are clear. Just look at our neighbor to the south if you need an example. Minority governments, however, must form a consensus with other parties in order to pass bills. Generally, this is far more beneficial. So now you can contact your member of parliament to tell them that you want first-past-the-post replaced by a proportional representation system. To contact your member of parliament is easy. You just go to ourcommons.ca members, and you can either search specifically for your region or your candidate, or you can just pick from the alphabetical list to find whichever one it is. Pick your representative, and right there, contact, and there you go. Email, website, or write his constituency office. Once you do this, your member of parliament will know that there are people who are fed up with the antiquated first-past-the-post. In 1867, it was fine. It is no longer 1867. For over 100 years, first-past-the-post has been doing nothing but harm to Canada. Thank you, folks. May you find prosperity and joy, or better yet, manufacture it by not voting Conservative.